Hi, we're here. We're in Kentucky. We're, as the message says, we're roughing it a little bit. Um, I'm not so sure that this is going to work terribly well because, well, I don't know how much bandwidth I have, and I have no technical assistance with me, so I cannot actually check out posts like comments without having a separate device up. In any case, so I'm stuck here in Kentucky, and I of course brought my cocktail kit so that we can make cocktails for all of my work friends that have come with me, and we're supporting some good old folk for DARPA, and well, you know, it's hot here, and I thought we might make some nice refreshing drinks. Usually when you're traveling, you don't want to go too complex. Sometimes if you have access to refrigeration, you can get away with bringing like some of your syrups and that sort of thing. If you really want to, you can make all of your syrups like 2-to-1, and they'll be shelf stable, so you can go ahead and carry those with you on the plane. But remember, you're limited by like the 3-ounce limit, so I mean that presents problems, that sort of thing. So yeah, I know it seems strange, but it's not quite the first thing I do when I roll into town, but usually sometime during the first day, you look up where the local liquor stores are and try and find one that's got a decent selection. Here in Radcliffe, Kentucky, the limits were pretty strong. I probably could have gotten a better selection of things in the airport in Louisville on the way here, but then I would have had to do all bourbon drinks. And that would have been fine. I probably should have tried to do bourbon drinks while I'm in Kentucky, but that's not me. So what we went with is some rum drinks, because duh, rum. And they were out of plantation, so I couldn't even use my usual plantation 3-star. So what we're going with is the Papa Pilar Blonde Rum, which is a 7-year Solara system, and the joyous and always friendly Bombay Sapphire, which you might be able to tell has been sitting in the hotel freezer for a bit. So, I mean, usually you can do things, simple drinks, right? So as long as you've got the rum, you could easily do daiquiris. You can do mojitos. With the gin, there's 1,000 things you can do, but you know, gin and tonics are really, really easy. You can liven up your gin and tonic with just a little bit of lime, and that's kind of what I tend to do. So what I'm going to do, Metin. So I've got one of my work colleagues here. I'm hopefully will be joined by a couple of others. I know at least one of them isn't going to make it. Don't know if anybody else is going to join us. Not that they're going to be on television, right? Oh God, yes. Facebook Live, don't do that. You have lime juice on your fingers. That would be bad. Yeah, we are strictly slapstick this evening. Anyway, Metin, daiquiri, gin and tonic, to start with.
To start, I feel like a gin and tonic is a good way to start.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I always travel with little plastic cups like this. So these are like sort of the drink cups, and we also have these little tasting cups that we got from Old Town Cocktail Week. And so, you know, I can put, well, you know, there's like 6 of these guys and another 4 or 5 of the tasting cups in a relatively small space that fits easily in the cocktail container here. You don't want to carry glass just because, well, it's heavy and, well, glass breaks and that would be bad. The plastic is easy enough. Wow. I keep looking down and seeing it paused, and like it looks like I'm dabbing down here. It's like this, but yeah, it's really not. It's like, that's what that view was. Okay. So what I like to do with my gin and tonics is just take a few little clumps of cut up lime and stick them in the bottom of a glass. Doop, doop. And then take a muddler, because doesn't everyone carry a muddler? The other thing that I use this for is for breaking ice. So I have an ice bag in here, so I can just throw big chunks of ice in it and crush it if I want to. We are not doing anything crushed ice because, well, I didn't have time. So, so we just mash up some of the lime there. Mash up some of the lime. Whoa! Kentucky limes are apparently really, really juicy. I've got juice flying everywhere. I juiced like 3 limes and got a ton of lime juice, like lime juice. It's like, wow. I know, it's a ton. So I'm going to throw a little bit of
And these were the
ice.
limes from the Walmart.
This is limes from Walmart. Yeah, it's not even. Well, okay, I'm not even gonna say anything bad about Walmart. They're keeping us in beverages this evening, so that's okay.
I think you can say something bad about Walmart.
Yeah, we're not going to. All right. These are not Collins glasses that you would normally serve a gin and tonic in. So normally for a gin and tonic, you're going to go like 1.5 ounces of gin. We're not going to do that. Besides, I've only got Metin here drinking for me, so we're going to go with like 1/2 ounce of gin to start
Much
with.
better, yeah.
So, because, yeah, carry a cocktail jigger with you, right? There we go. There we go. And then we need tonic, right? So also stopping at the local Walmart, and you can get some Fever Tree tonic water of your choice, or whatever tonic you would like. Schweppes if you must. Or just pop this off. Because, of course, my rule is always open your bottles before you broadcast, because things like that happen, right? I'm not going to worry about how much. I'm just going to eyeball this. Do that. Because a gin and tonic is a very sort of personal thing, I think, in terms of what you want in it, how much you want in it, and those sorts of things. In terms of the proportion that you have of gin to tonic, yes, there are canonical amounts, but why do that when the person that you're giving the drink to might want more gin or less gin in the drink? So, Metin, there you go. There's a gin and tonic.
Thank you. Are you gonna have one as well?
I have one right here.
Fabulous.
So we are going to, normally we start with a toast, but I don't have any really good rum to toast with. So that's, the usual way we start a broadcast is we toast something. So I'm going to toast I was able to get in and celebrate my birthday before I had to leave for Kentucky. Because, yeah, that was fun. And the fact that we actually got a day off, as opposed to doing like 9 days straight or whatever was going to be. So toast to that. Toast to friends that are willing to join me in this adventure of trying to put together cocktails in a hotel room and broadcast from here. So
Cheers.
cheers, cheers.
It's all alcohol. Lovely.
It's a gin and tonic,
Yeah,
right?
a lovely gin and tonic.
I
I have to say, I do like the Fever Tree. They're very good. I remember going to when I was in London one summer. They had a pop-up little beer garden, cocktail garden thing where they had all of these different tonics and all of these different gins.
Mhm.
It was really cool. Yeah.
So the other thing you can do if you want to make your gin and tonic just a little bit different, a little bit special, is put some bitters in it. And I know, most people are like, oh, well, what am I going to do for bitters? Why would I put Angostura bitters in it? It's going to overpower the gin and tonic.
Like a celery or something?
But you don't. And so here we've got some orange bitters. Orange bitters would probably be lovely. What is this? This is, tart cherry and sassafras. That might be okay in this. What do we got? This is Angostura, probably not. Bitter Queen Marie Laveau tobacco bitters. Thematic for Kentucky, but I'm not sure it would go well in a gin and tonic.
Bitter Queen is my drag name.
Yeah,
So.
is it? Okay. I think it's many people's drag name. Peychaud's, just because if you're carrying Angostura, you got to carry Peychaud's. And then this is the 1821 Earl Grey bitters. And yes,
Ooh.
I carry a bunch of that, a bunch of bitters with me everywhere. You want to try a little?
I want to try the Earl Grey.
Yeah, okay.
I think the citrus could be nice, the sort of bergamot-y,
Yeah.
as opposed to orange.
So we'll just do
straight orange.
Whoop.
Yeah.
We go 1 dash, and you can just stir that around and see what you think. I'm actually going to go with the Kentucky style and do the Marie Laveau, which I don't think is going to go well with this, but
Can I smell it? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What it smells like.
oh, here, we'll just do that.
Oh, interesting.
Now,
Oh, ooh.
I should let you know. Yeah, so the tobacco bitters are not, in fact, made with actual tobacco bitters, and there's a reason for that. That's because nicotine is, in fact, a poison, and alcohol is really good at extracting nicotine from tobacco leaves. And as a consequence, unless you are unless you're a trained chemist and have a lot of equipment on hand, making actual bitters from tobacco is just incredibly dangerous. You can, in fact, give people heart attacks by doing that. So the Marie Laveau bitters is in a tobacco fashion, but has no tobacco actually in it. So what do you think with the Earl Grey?
I'm not gonna lie, the Marie Laveau bitters are slightly overpowering.
I'm sorry.
Taste bud. No, I'm good. I'm glad I got to try them. But I can tell, I mean, it's
this actually kind of mellows out the sharp tartness of the gin and tonic, but at single dash, you don't get the tobacco flavor coming through those bitters. So that's all right. Do you want more? You want more tonic in there?
I was gonna say yeah, or I can.
Do you just want a sip of tonic to try and cleanse the palate? Yeah, we can do that. There you go. There's a little palate cleanser for you.
Some quinine.
So let's see. Do we have any more?
It's brighter.
Sarah Michelle's familiar with making drinks in the hotel room. Star is having high octane punch with Prosecco tonight. So we did a tiki party, as you guys know, about a week ago, and there's still high octane punch left. So she's apparently lengthening that a little bit with the Prosecco. I'll have to find out from the wife.
Make it low octane punch if you add Prosecco to it?
I don't think so, because you're still adding
alcohol. Yeah.
Star says the picture is delayed from the sound. Oh, that's going to be great. Should I slow
No, because
down?
now the sound is slower.
Now the sound is going to be slower. Just think of this as a bad Godzilla movie.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's good though with the Earl Grey bitters. It's like a little brighter. It kind of brings out the lime more.
Okay. Yeah, you would expect that from the burger. I wouldn't want to go too many dashes of it because the tea element of the Earl Grey will kind of. I just don't think that would be good with a gin and tonic.
Although it might, like the tonic sort of quinine bitterness and the tea bitterness would be a good match, but it might
push it over into the bitter. Yeah. I think you're going to get you're not going to get the flavor coming through as of like an iced tea or an Arnold Palmer kind of thing. I don't think that's going to work out for us. I have some water here. I can take a sip of that. And again, this is only half an ounce of tonic, half an ounce of tonic. Yeah, it's 3 ounces of gin, half ounce of tonic. No, it's the other way around. Right. So this is not going to knock us on our butts, but I could come back from a long day working out on site and whip up 5 or 6 of these pretty quickly, and just have a couple of drinks for us to sit. Not me have 5 or 6 of these.
Right?
No. Like for the team, everybody could have a nice little gin and tonic. Everybody could have whatever little bitters they want in them or not. The other night, Metin wanted to drink but did not want alcohol. There were various reasons.
I'd taken a Benadryl.
And I wasn't going to say that, but since there was Fever Tree, there was also Fever Tree Pink Grapefruit, which is not a tonic, it's just a soda, right? And I did a little lime juice, a little simple syrup, and he said it was really good. So, there you go. You make just a kind of a fresh soda, spark it up a little bit, because it's a little dry just on its own.
Yeah.
So a little simple syrup would work really, really well with it. Okay, what else are we going to do? Probably daiquiri, because, I can, and because Metin didn't get a daiquiri the other night.
I like this little Cointreau.
Yeah, I should point that out.
Baby.
So what other things do I normally carry with me in the cocktail kit? So it depends. If the cocktail kit is being carried on, I tend to not carry liquids in it, just to be on the safe side. And every once in a while you get, TSA is like, is this over 3 ounces or not? And it's like, it's under 3 ounces. We don't trust you, but,
Suddenly there goes your bottle.
Right, there goes my bottle of whatever. But you can pack relatively small bottles of various things or pick them up. Like, I think one of the times we were here last, I picked up a bottle or 2 of the little bottles of the Cointreau so that I could have a little bit of orange spirit with me. And here you're not buying a great big bottle of triple sec or Cointreau or whatever.
It just becomes the property of the TSA break room.
Right. Other things I carry with me because, this is, Quarantiki, so I generally carry a vial of allspice dram with me, and I carry a vial of falernum. And this is, in fact, the last of the John D. Taylor falernum that I have at the house.
What's falernum?
So we have Metin asking, what is falernum? So falernum is essentially, it is a rum-based liqueur or infusion that ton of like grated lime peel in it and various Caribbean spices like cloves. You can get a very clovey falernum. And there's other things in it, including usually some almond. So you have to be careful for anybody that has nut allergies, tree nut allergies, that sort of thing. In fact, you have to be really careful with tiki drinks in general because a lot of them also use orgeat, which is almond based, and you can kill people that have nut allergies, and that's really not what tiki is about. Is killing your patrons. That pretty sucks. Yeah, I would kind of like to do that. One of the things that allows you to do though is play around with the syrups that you use for daiquiris. So normally I make my own syrup, but of course I'm traveling, so yeah, don't yell at me too badly. This is Rose's simple syrup, which is pretty close to a 1-to-1 simple syrup.
Is great. Yeah.
It's it's high fructose corn syrup. Although it says
it
says it's made from cane sugar. I'm not sure.
No, Rose's is good. I bet they're using real cane sugar. I believe that.
Cane sugar, water, citric acid.
Rose's is great. I like them.
I'm wrong. They are not the Rose's Simple is not high fructose corn syrup.
I'm sure they're like
Rose's
stuff.
grenadine is like and the lime cordial, right? Yeah. But I've got a ton of lime juice. So anyway, what I was saying was you can play around with the sweet component of that. So you can use simple syrup, or you could use a little falernum, or you can split the base on that. If Savan were joining us, Savan had said, hey, I really like pina coladas. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go out and buy pineapple juice and cream of coconut and that sort of thing in order to make a pina colada. But, I do have a bottle of the coconut and pineapple juice. And so, I could mix that with some ice and some rum, and I'm sure that would be pretty tasty. The key here is when you're making drinks on travel, to go simple. Don't try and overthink it. This is not the time to engage in your massive tiki 11 different ingredients. Now what you can do, there's a key here. You can pre-batch, right? So you can take your syrups and that sort of thing and your various alcohols and put them all together. You just don't do that with the citrus component. And so when you arrive at wherever, you just squeeze your, go ahead and rinse that out, and I can get you another glass. And just add the citrus fruit juice. Wow. Can you tell we're tired here? So the next thing up that we're going to do daiquiris, but I'm going to play around a little bit with the sweet component of the daiquiris. So let's do that. I need. Whoa, there it is. Woohoo! So we have mixing tin. All right, Boston shaker time. So there we go.
Are you gonna use the bisexual coconut drink?
Do you want me to?
No, I was just curious.
I was going to save it for Savan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if we do like a happy hour after the broadcast, I don't know. But Savan needed to do some work, so he's doing that as opposed to doing this, which is too bad because he misses out. Whatever. Daiquiri. Traditionally, I like an even split of sweet to sour component in my daiquiri. So I usually go 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of whatever my sweet component or components is, and then 2 ounces of rum. And that's what we're going to do today. Double check this. We are coming in at 42% alcohol on the Papa's Pilar, which is fine. If you accidentally picked up a rum liqueur like Malibu, which is in the 20%, I think 20 or 30% alcohol, you might want to modify things like pull back the sweet component of it because Malibu's so sweet. Or if you happen to pick up a bottle of rum that's like 67% alcohol, now you might want to beef up your sweet and your sour components in order to counteract the cask strength of that. But why are you opening your cask strength bottle of rum for this kind of setup, right? Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, I figure that the best thing to do is just do 2 daiquiris, and then Metin and I can compare and contrast the 2 daiquiris. Okay, so that means we need...
What's the first daiquiri?
You want to do just a straight up normal daiquiri with the simple syrup?
Yeah.
The ones we were drinking, was it just last night? It
I
was just
wasn't,
last. But you weren't,
I
right?
wasn't.
Okay. So we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Yeah, Metin has to catch up, right? That's the deal.
I'm behind.
So there we go. There's 3/4 of an ounce simple syrup. Once again, starting with the cheap components, and I always like to start with the thicker or more viscous component in the drink, principally because I want the acid to clear out the jigger and make sure I get all of the stuff out of the jigger. So we got lime juice here, and we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. I mean, if you've been watching this channel for, well, pretty much any time, I'm fairly certain you know how to make a daiquiri, but we're going to do it anyway because daiquiri, yum.
When in Kentucky.
When in Kentucky, yeah. When in wherever. Yeah, okay, so Papa's PR, I really like this kind of canteen shape that they have to their bottles, but here's the deal. It's a pain in the neck to pour these things. I generally spill this rum everywhere when I do that. Look at that. See? It's spilling. All right, there's 2 ounces. I'm not terribly worried about spilling some rum on the floor. I figure the worst that can happen is it can kill things that shouldn't be around, right? Okay, that's it. That's all you need in a daiquiri. I happen to have some ice here provided for me, so we're just going to dump some ice in there. I'm going to dump a little more ice in there. I'm a little surprised. This hotel actually has really good ice. It is small squares, and it is relatively clear, so I'm liking that. And if I was going to be more ambitious, I would have picked up a bag of ice from the Sonic, which is 2 doors down, because of course Sonic has great ice. But we're not doing any really massive tiki drinks this evening, so I don't need the Sonic ice, nor do I have my stick blender with me, my spindle blender, so what's the point? No lie, I am kind of disappointed that we are not being joined by others this evening, but
I know. Sarah said she wanted to prep for tomorrow. Savon said he had work to do, and Brian said he had work. Yeah. They're all lame.
they make me feel bad because, here I am slinging cocktails and they're like, oh, we have to work. Like, but, okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to go. You don't think they like us? Is that what you just said?
No, I don't think they actually are.
What am I doing with that? No, that stays in front of me. If you want, you can garnish this with a lime wheel or something else. I'm just going to go with a little bit, like a lime, I don't know, quarter or something. It's not even a quarter, right? We'll just slip that on the edge. Of course, you can't see it until I hold it up. But there you go. So you've got just a little drink. Well, it's a daiquiri. It's a full-size daiquiri, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Now, so you have to tell me how you like that.
All right.
And then I'm going to send you off to clean some glassware for me, because, yeah, I need to. Kind of light, kind of refreshing.
Lovely.
This is a little bit heavier rum,
Yeah.
so it's not like a Bacardi really light, just column still. The Solera system here produces a little heavier mouthfeel rum, which it's quite nice for this kind of daiquiri. It's not, I don't know.
It goes like sweet, and then the end you get some of the rum. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's 2 ounces of rum to a full ounce and a half of other stuff. So yeah, I mean that's it should be. Yep. All right. So I'm gonna send these with you to. I can keep this, but those need to be rinsed out for me so I can make the next cocktail. Yeah. Don't worry about it. All right. So the other cocktail. So we're also going to do another daiquiri. So I need my sweet component. And while he's gone, we're not going to tell him what the other sweet component is. So we're going to do this. Reach over here. I'm going to go a full 3/4 of an ounce here. All right, there you go. And then we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. And yes, this is fresh squeezed and strained as of just a few minutes ago. All right, so that goes in there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 2 ounces of our rum.
Hope I did good.
I'm sure you did just fine. Just fine. All right, what do I need? I need 2 ounces of rum, right? Okay, so that's going to go in here. We shall pour. And unfortunately, I had to turn off the air conditioning, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get a connection in here.
Really?
Yeah, this is apparently the fan running, you know, something about metal spinning causes bad things for electronics, right?
What?
You didn't know that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, okay, so there we go. That gets poured in there. And then, just to brighten this up just a tad, I am going to add like a couple of bar spoons right here of some Cointreau.
What are you making now? Sorry.
This is a daiquiri
Oh,
at its base with some minor changes to it. Yeah, you asked earlier about like how many people do I usually have online? I got 4 at the moment, right?
Well, that's pretty good.
It is awkward for me to be able to tell who's online, so it's not going to worry about it, right? It's just showing you the kinds of things you can do while you are out and about without. You know, I know this seems like a lot of stuff, but it all fits in right here. You know, aside from the booze that you buy and, you know, the tonic water and that sort of thing. But the tonic water, the grapefruit soda, that sort of thing, you can have those. In fact, that's what I'm going to do for the last cocktail is do something that is non-alcoholic or really low alcoholic. Show you what you can do in that regard. Right?
I
Yes.
would love something with the Falernum.
Okay. Of course, I squeezed out a whole bunch of lime juice, figuring we'd have more people, but that's okay, because if we have like a happy hour afterwards, then there will be more people, and we can do that. Okay, so we've shook that here. You can take that and rinse that for me.
Beautiful.
Then I will pour this into here. I also generally don't travel with straws. I know there's something about tiki that just sort of screams really cool straws. And you know where you can get really cool straws? You can get really cool straws from Surfside Sips. All right. I'm going to actually I'm going to do this. Rinse that. Oh, I have another towel here. I keep forgetting. I'm not in my home bar, so I forget the kinds of things that I have available. Right. There we go. So try that. Have a sip of that.
All right. I'm gonna cleanse with some tonic water.
Excellent. Excellent well.
Ooh, it's like sweeter, but not in a sweet way, if that makes sense.
So what you're drinking there, because you scampered out while I was making the drink.
That's true, I have no idea.
Right,
There's
so-
a little bit of like smoky something.
Notice that this bottle is considerably lighter than it was.
You put the Falernum in.
I
Oh,
did,
cool.
right. So this is 3/4 of an ounce of Falernum
Oh, interesting.
and a couple of bar spoons of the Cointreau in place of the sweet component on a daiquiri. So there you go. You just take the base construction of a daiquiri, play around with the sweet component or whatever you want with it. You could even split like the sour base. You could split it lemon and lime or use something else for sour. You could use something like a corrected pineapple juice. So corrected pineapple juice is just pineapple juice that has the pH changed using citric acid or a combination of citric and malic acid in order to bring it up to the same pH as lime juice. And so you can get the same tartness, but you don't have to add lime juice and pineapple juice to your cocktail. And you could use that for the sour component here and still get pineapple flavor to it. But of course you'd have to do that ahead of time and carry one of these small bottles of a corrected pineapple juice, which I'm not going to do. You know, I could have. I've got some at home because of course I do, right? Yep. So what do you think? Which one do you like better?
I like this one better. I mean, it's more. This is just sort of like a simple, lovely, like easily digestible, crushable drink.
Yeah, just sit on the poolside and
But this
sweat pouring down you in the
Right.
Kentucky humidity and just
Right.
knock that back, right?
This is more complex. It's very interesting. I mean, you almost. I know you told me it, so it's probably because I know. But like, it's almost like almond extract in the scent of it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And then it's sort of like there's an immediate sweetness that's very quickly tempered by citrus that finishes with a little bit of bitterness.
That's because you don't get as much sweetness across the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Because the falernum is providing the sweetness, and the falernum has that heavy citrus component to it already because of the infusion of the lime peels, right?
Yeah.
So it's like sweet, and then it's the tartness of the lime, and then it goes directly into the sweet as the sweetness of the falernum takes over. Or tartness of the lime from the falernum takes over, so it goes sweet and then tart.
No, I can the lime peels I can totally get. Yeah. And that's sort of it's that aftertaste. It's like a different type of. It's like almost bitter. Yeah.
Yep.
It's good.
So I'm going to take this, hand that back to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some of this.
Do it.
All right, so we're going to split that. Yep. Because, well, cheers.
It's
I need
not
to
a
drink
bad
something.
idea if I don't have to drink all of this.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So one of the nice things about traveling with a bunch of these small bottles of bitters is if you have people that, particularly low ABV drinkers, you can do something as very simple as a tonic or a soda and bitters. Now, this is a commonplace drink. Hospitality professionals know this and do this kind of a lot when they don't want a really heavy drink. In fact, when they don't want alcohol, they will often order some form of soda or tonic with just a few dashes of bitters in it. And it could be something as simple as Angostura or Peychaud's bitters, or you can play around with your bitters and do various funky things with it. And so I like to keep the bunch of bitters on hand, mostly because I like mixing bitters into various cocktails and seeing what they do when you add it to a gin and tonic or a daiquiri or something along those lines. But when someone's like, I don't want a drink that's got an ounce of alcohol in it, right? I want something crushable, something easy to drink that, okay, I'm not dead set against alcohol because of course all bitters have alcohol in them, but it's basically trace amounts. So unless you're dealing with somebody that literally is like, no alcohol can pass my lips kind of issue, bitters and soda is a way to go. It's very nice. I'm actually going to sit down for a few moments while I do this. So this is truly an easy cocktail to do. What you do is you take some ice. Can you guys still see me? I can't tell because you're behind me in time. So I don't know if me sitting down has just screwed up everything. I suppose I could go here and see what's... John D. Taylor's back in stock. Yay! Sometimes you have to compromise or improvise when you're bartending in hotel rooms. Yes, indeed. Yes, yeah, there's a shout out to Surfside Sips. Yep. Not kidding, they do really great straws. We were so sad because we were headed to Ohana in New York, and we were going to finally get to meet the guys from Surfside Sips, and then wife and I got COVID, and we couldn't go, and it was like our second tiki convention ever. We had all these great plans, and totally fell through, and totally no fun, right? Okay, so what do we do here? We're going to take some tonic water. Let me grab a jigger here. I'm going to go 2 ounces of tonic water and probably not spill this on my pants. That'd be an ideal non-spill. All right, so there's not 2 ounces. So we need a second one of these, which is good that I pulled them out. All right. Yes, I could have some form of church key or bottle opener, but I can just use a wine opener. Do not carry these on the plane because they do have because the corkscrew itself, and a lot of them have a sharp edge or sharp knife on them, and they will confiscate them. The flip side of that, though, is if you go to garage sales, almost everyone has like a buttload of these things just lying around that they're trying to get rid of. So we actually keep like 5 or 6 of these things in the glove compartment of our car, which also makes it really nice if you happen to be giving somebody a bottle of wine for like a housewarming gift or something, and they're like, oh, but I can't open the bottle. It's like, well, here, have one of these as well, because clearly you need one, right? So I'm going to just figure out what 2 ounces looks like in one glass. Perfect. That is perfect. So there's my guess was 2 ounces, and that is perfect amount of tonic water for these guys. Now you could also do this with the grapefruit soda. You can do this with pretty much any sort of carbonated beverage you want. Club soda works very nicely. Now, if you're doing this, I'm doing a lot of ums this evening. I think that's just because I'm out of my element here. Like, yeah, I want my bar. All right, and then you just add, I like to add a bunch of bitters to mine. These guys are really small. They're not like the 6 ounce Collins glasses, so probably just a couple of dashes would be good.
Yeah.
Metin, what do you want to try? Want to?
Remind me what the bitters are again?
So we've got Angostura and Peychaud's.
Right, which I've had before.
Right, we have the tart cherry and sassafras, but you're not one of the ones that hates cherries.
No.
Okay, so that's okay. The tobacco, the Earl Grey, and the orange bitters.
I want to try the cherry.
The tart cherry? Yeah, okay. So we'll shake that up. And I think if I remember right, this is Woodford Reserve's bitters, right? So we're just going to go 1. Oh, these are really small, so I'm actually going to go 3 of these for you. There we go. Right. Other nice thing about this is put in a few dashes of bitters, and if you're like, I really can't taste the bitters, add some more, right?
Add some more. Yeah.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to play. So I'm going to take a little Peychaud's. All right. I'm going to red this up a little bit. So we're going to go 2 dashes of the Peychaud's. And then I'm going to go a single dash of the orange bitters. Play up the citrus notes there. And then, because apparently I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to do 1 dash of the tobacco bitters. See what this does.
Bring it back down to earth.
Bring it back down. Yep. Right, and obviously there's a few more dashes of bitters in this one than there are in Metin's. That's okay. Scrunch. And there you have it. You can buy bitters in most supermarkets, so clearly the ABV count on that is very low. And also the fact that, it's heavily bittered, so you're not like you can't knock back bitters.
You can't do a shot.
You can't, you can.
I mean, why would you?
People do. Little towns in Michigan, that sort of thing. But we're not in Michigan, we're in Kentucky. So here is, right. You can smell the bitters off the top. It's definitely not just tonic.
Ooh. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, it's like the tart and the bitter of the tonic are battling.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely.
But you can imagine, like, you've sat down at a bar, you've had, your Manhattan or your old fashioned, you've had, a drink, and you're like, well, I want something, but I don't want to just be drinking water or tonic.
It's
So
almost
you can
like
have,
a palate cleanser as well.
yeah, very much so. And you can knock these things back all night long and never feel that. Yeah, the almond on the falernum really comes through on the nose. Yep.
My first instinct was like, it took me back to baking, like almond extract and baking.
Yep. Yeah. There is a lot. This is very strange in my mind, but a lot of the spices that are used for making tiki cocktails are very much reminiscent of like Christmas baking spices.
And, allspice.
Right, and you don't think of those as summer hot,
Right,
weather
yeah,
kind of spices, but they add that spicy component to what is otherwise bright and citrusy and light cocktails, and it's just a delightful complexity that I think is pretty freaking awesome. Wow, they are way behind on the video processing of this.
Oh no.
All right, so this is we'll see how this goes. Not sure that this is going to be one of the better. Oh yeah, the video is way behind because I'm talking about light cocktails and Christmas spices, and I'm still waving this thing around.
Oh.
So wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's.
Oh wow, that's a long time ago.
That's a long lag.
But they can hear the audio?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's so
Yeah.
confusing.
So
That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so this will be strange. Also, I have no idea what's going to happen when I hit end live broadcast.
Oh right, does the audio? Yeah, does it keep?
Does it just does the video continue just with no sound, or just does it end? I don't know. I do not know.
If you were drunk watching this, would be really.
It would be really funny. Yeah.
And if you're sober, you probably feel like you're drunk watching this.
So in any case, I've accomplished what the goal is. So
Can I?
yeah, what do you want?
Can I add a pay shots to
Sure,
this?
absolutely.
I'm curious.
You can add anything I got up here. You could add some allspice dram to that if you wanted to.
Because
You want a full dash?
Sassafras, yeah, because the sassafras and cherry wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I can add
I
another
guess 'cause
dash of it.
No, it's fine. I guess I also I forget how much flavor tonic water actually has.
Another dash of the cherry? Yeah.
Live long.
There we go. We got all of these are fairly low ABV cocktails, right? I mean, a gin and tonic. Sure, you can make this at like 3-to-1 gin to tonic, but okay, you should stop drinking at that point because clearly you're an alcoholic. Usually it's the other way around, right? It's usually like 1-to-3, where 1 is gin and 3 is tonic. But you can always play around. Like I said, add some lime to it, add some bitters to it, and suddenly you're not drinking a gin and tonic. You're drinking something a little different. And if you're having friends that are drinking, each one can be having a drink that is sort of customized to their own flavor profile. The same thing with the daiquiri, right? We had 2 very different daiquiris. One used Flernum, one used simple syrup. Could easily have split the sweet component between the 2. So we had like half an ounce of simple syrup and a 1/4 ounce of falernum or a 1/4 ounce of allspice dram, you would have had a very different daiquiri, right? Could have used, the Cointreau's pretty sweet, so you could have done a little more Cointreau in that and amped that up. So there's just innumerable ways that you can go just playing around with that base 2 ounces of rum, 3/4 ounce lime, 3/4 of an ounce of whatever you want for your sweet component. And then we ended on a light little palate cleanser, which again shows you the value of having just a bunch of small bottles of bitters with you, is that you can make up a bitters and tonic or bitters and soda pretty much to anybody's liking. And later we will do something, not tonight, or well, not on the broadcast. We will do something with this pineapple and coconut thing and see what that's like. Don't be afraid to just grab some juice or grab some sort of drink off the shelf at your local supermarket and put a little rum in it, put a little gin in it, put both in it, and then play around and try and correct the balance on it. I am sorry that there are tech issues. So I think the good thing to do here is quit and let the video and sound sync up. I am guessing that my lovely wife is right, and that when the video is actually loaded on the site, it'll be better than the live broadcast. This is just one of those things that you have to deal with. If you're broadcasting from a hotel room, you have to worry about your Wi-Fi capability. Because most of the time there isn't a way to hardwire in. Usually when we're broadcasting from home, we're hardwired into the FiOS system at home, so we don't have nearly as much problems. Although if you've been watching for a while, we still have problems. So let's call it quits. We will talk to you guys all next week, where I should be back at the home bar, and the wife and I will have started out on the Tiki Trail DC, which it was announced that they are in fact doing the Tiki Trail again this year. And so I think it's McClellan's Retreat, Tiki on 18th, Tiny Tiki, Archipelago, and several others are getting together,
Cool.
and you go around to these different bars over the course of about a month's period, and you get your little passport book signed that you in fact have done, your drinks at that particular bar, and there's a special treat if you get your passport all filled out that I will let you look up online if you are so interested in doing that. It actually opened and started on the 5th. So Star and I are going to have to make up for lost time, but that's okay. We can do that. We've met a lot of really solid, wonderful people doing the Tiki Trail in the past, and we really haven't been able to do it for the last couple of years. Thank you, COVID. So it's good to see it back online, back up and running, and so we're going to end there, and maybe we'll talk about Tiki Trail next week in a little more detail.